How does a small volcanic island in the Indian Ocean shelter an underwater ring of life larger than its own landmass? Protected by extensive coral reefs, the shallow lagoons of Mauritius create a secure nursery for sea turtles and countless marine species. The secret to this thriving ecosystem lies just off the coast. Beneath the surface, porcupine fish navigate the intricate coral structures that shield the island from strong ocean currents. On land, the protected environment supports unique wildlife. Colorful fisher's lovebirds gather among the tropical foliage, while giant tortoises roam the grassy reserves. These slow-moving reptiles reflect the island's long history as a sanctuary for rare species. On the southwestern coast, the landscape shifts from flat lagoons to sudden elevation. The basalt peak of Morne Brabant rises abruptly from the ocean. This prominent mountain dominates the peninsula, casting its shadow over pristine white sand beaches and shallow, clear waters. The surrounding reef breaks the deep ocean swells, creating a calm perimeter. Today, the coastal strip beneath the mountain holds luxury resorts, but the imposing rock itself remains a rugged, unyielding landmark against the Indian Ocean. From a distance, the waters off Le Morne reveal a dramatic geographic feature. Sand and silt wash off the coastal shelf, plunging into the deeper ocean trenches, creating the optical illusion of an underwater waterfall. Moving north along the western coast, the landscape opens up toward Tamarin Bay. Green fields and dense forests stretch out beneath the mountain ranges. Small coastal towns sit at the base of these steep green slopes, wedged between the dense tropical interior and the steady rhythm of the sea. The underwater waterfall effect is completely driven by ocean currents pulling sand down the steep drop-off. Above the surface, steady trade winds hit the Le Morne Peninsula, creating ideal conditions for constant coastal activity. The white sand beaches facing the lagoon provide easy access to the water. Harnessing the reliable winds, kite surfers glide across the shallow, protected sections of the reef, utilizing the calm surface before the deep ocean begins. Further south, the coastal road is squeezed between the ocean and steep hills. Drivers navigate sharp hairpin curves around Maconde rock. This rocky outcrop juts directly into the sea, offering a natural viewpoint over the southern Indian Ocean. Inland, the terrain rises into the Black River Gorges region, covered in dense tropical vegetation. Here, water carves through the volcanic rock. Chamarel Waterfall plunges over a steep cliff edge, dropping nearly 100 meters into a deep pool. The river winds through thick jungle before reaching the ledge, making Chamarel one of the highest and most prominent waterfalls on the island. The central plateau of Mauritius is fractured by deep ravines and river systems. Multiple cascades flow over a series of steep drops. The water cuts through the thick green canopy, tumbling down rocky faces. These inland water systems sustain the island's lush environment, channeling rain from the high peaks down toward the coastal plains. In the southern Savan district, Rochester Falls presents a different geological formation. Water cascades over unique rectangular flank rocks. These blocky basalt columns were shaped by cooling lava centuries ago, creating a stepped wall where the river drops into a tranquil pool. Returning to the western coast, the village of Tamarin sits where the river meets the sea. The settlement is framed by the sharp peaks of Mount Tamarin and nearby mountain ranges. Casuarina trees line the sandy beaches, while small boats anchor in the calm waters of the bay, protected by the surrounding geography. The village spans the narrow strip of land between the Indian Ocean and the steep mountain slopes. Houses and streets are built right up to the edge of the lush, forested hills. The imposing ridges of the western mountains form a continuous wall behind the coastal communities, sheltering them from eastern winds. The Tamarin River flows out of the highlands and empties into the Indian Ocean at this bay. Looking inland from the estuary, the jagged profile of Rempart Mountain dominates the skyline. Its rugged, distinctive peak rises sharply above the coastal plains. The wide sandy beaches of Tamarin Bay receive gentle ocean waves, making it a natural gathering point. As the sun lowers, the fading light catches the slopes of Rempart Mountain, highlighting the sharp geographic features that define the western edge of Mauritius. In the north of the island, the coastline flattens into long stretches of white sand. Trou Biches features a calm, shallow lagoon, heavily protected by an offshore coral reef. Palm trees line the shore, providing natural shade over the public beach. Small wooden piers extend into the clear, turquoise water, where boats anchor safely away from the stronger ocean currents. Nearby, Point aux Canoniers forms a distinct peninsula in the northern part of Mauritius. The shoreline here features a mix of sandy beaches and dark rocky outcrops. Boats float in the shallow, clear water near the shore. At sunset, the fading light reflects off the calm surface of the lagoon, casting long shadows across the sand and the scattered coastal rocks. At the absolute northern tip of Mauritius lies the village of Cap Malheureux. The coastal landscape features shallow lagoons dotted with coral reefs. Beachfront residential properties and private villas sit directly on the shoreline, overlooking the moored boats and the open ocean beyond. The clear waters of the bay provide a secure anchorage for local fishermen and small vessels. The village name translates to Cape of Bad Luck, a reference to the numerous shipwrecks that occurred on the surrounding reefs before modern navigation. Today, it remains a quiet coastal settlement. Right on the shoreline of Cap Malheureux stands the Notre Dame Auxiliatrice Chapel. The building is famous for its distinctive bright red roof, which contrasts sharply with the blue ocean and green palm trees. Situated mere steps from the water, this rural church serves the local community and acts as a highly visible landmark for boats navigating the northern lagoon. Just off the north coast, Flat Island is one of the largest offshore islets in Mauritian territory. The island features wide, white sandy beaches and is surrounded by a clear, shallow ocean, making it a frequent destination for catamaran cruises. Boats anchor near the coast, allowing visitors to reach the shore. The interior of Flat Island remains relatively untouched, covered in low, lush greenery that thrives in the tropical sun, surrounded completely by the barrier reefs and the sea. Moving down to the east coast, Île aux Cerfs is a privately owned island renowned for its extensive white sand beaches. The surrounding lagoon is remarkably shallow, displaying a bright aquamarine color. Mangrove forests grow along parts of the shoreline, adding dense vegetation to the sandy environment. Catamarans and sailboats drop anchor in the calm water, resting safely inside the protective coral barrier. The shallow depths and soft sand make the eastern lagoon an ideal environment for marine life and a central hub for coastal navigation around the island of Mauritius. The reef that protects the marine nurseries of Mauritius has always been a hazard for those on the surface. On the rocky outcrop of Île aux Fouquets, a 19th century lighthouse marks the danger. Built to guide ships safely through the coral rings and into the bay, the abandoned stone cylinder takes the force of the crashing waves. It is a quiet marker of the ocean's power, sitting exactly where the calm lagoons meet the deep Indian Ocean.